A very good evening and welcome. Exactly 60 years ago, Kenya attained self-internal rule. Under the newfound freedom, the first president, Jomo Kenyatta's administration, was seeking to fight the three enemies: poverty, ignorance, and disease. 6 decades later, have we lived up to the dreams and aspirations of our forefathers? Tonight, we break down the hits and misses as Kenya turns 60. Happy birthday to us. Our big question tonight: what makes you proud to be a Kenyan? We have the Madaraka celebrations analysis here in studio and the course of this broadcast with Mary Arviza, a seasoned politician, and Tony Kisaka, our strategist. For now, the highlights. Tonight on Lookup News, President William Ruto promises riders access to electric boda starting September as Kenya marks the 60th Madaraka Day. Ruto defends the housing fund proposal under the Finance Bill 2023.
It is now my honor and pleasure to introduce and officially launch the second product of Hustler Fund.
And President Ruto launches second phase of Hustler Fund. Once more, welcome to the broadcast. This is Lookup News. I am Nancy Nalima and our sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. Do stay with us as we bring you up to speed with the Madaraka Day celebrations and so much more happening across our 47 counties. At Lookuptv on Twitter, Lookuptv on Facebook, and Lookuptv on our YouTube channel. Let's begin. Tonight we begin in Embu County, where President William Ruto, in his Madaraka Day speech, defended the controversial 2023 financial bill, stating that there is need to empower more Kenyans to enter the taxable income category to ensure that the country lives within its means instead of borrowing. That of state promising that come September, riders will have an access to electric bodas. Shadrach Kareria with our report.
As Kenyans celebrate 60 years of independence in different parts of the country,
Dr. William Samoei Ruto.
President William Ruto and other top-notch leaders convened at Moi Stadium in Embu County to mark the special day.
Public servants must ensure that public resources must be utilized solely and exclusively for purposes that serve the interests of all our people.
President William Ruto used the opportunity to address his first Madaraka Day as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. The President defended his 2023 finance bill from his critics, stating that there is a need to empower more Kenyans to enter into the taxable income.
In the course of consultations with Kenyans at the grassroots throughout the country, we identified a number of barriers to effective realization of their economic well-being. The first was the bureaucracy in regulation and compliance, including tax administration.
Ruto stated that the move will ensure that the country lives within its means rather than depending on foreign debts for survival.
The answer lies in empowering more Kenyans to enter the taxable income category through intentional effort to create millions of new jobs and millions of new taxpayers in due course.
His remarks were supported by his deputy Rigathi Gachagua, who asked the president to ignore distractors. The bill has been facing opposition from different workers' organizations in the country, as well as the Azimio coalition politicians.
As they support all the legislative measures that your government has proposed in the National Assembly to allow this country to get away from public debt and fund our own development and recurrent expenditure. For that, Your Excellency, we want to assure you that the majority of Kenyans are behind you.
President William Ruto also stated that come September this year, boda riders will be able to buy electric bodas, and there will be no need to buy fuels.
We run on electricity, one that is financed by not a predatory system, but one that respects the interests of those who purchase the bodas.
President Ruto also committed that his government is working closely with the county government to recruit health promoters whom task will be visiting Kenyans in their homes to determine whether any health condition needs to be managed.
We have collaborating with the county governments to recruit community health workers, promoters throughout the country. 100,000 of them will be recruited under this program, and this number will make every one promoter available for 100 households.
Each health promoter will be in charge of 100 homes.
This means that each promoter will be tasked with visiting Kenyans at their homes to determine whether any condition need to be managed through healthier lifestyle or basic medical attention.
Shadrach Kareria, Lookuptv.
And still in those celebrations, President Ruto remains adamant the controversial 3% monthly deduction housing levy for salaried Kenyans towards his flagship project of affordable housing will go on as planned. During this year's Madaraka celebrations, President Ruto has enumerated reasons why he is insistent on the project despite strong objections from Kenyans, which include the creation of job opportunities, the strengthening and support of the construction industry, as well as guaranteeing Kenyans at the lowest cadre of the economy affordable and decent housing. Our reporter Henry Tende now explores the reasons behind President Ruto's push for the controversial housing levy and files the following report.
Hamjambo.
A day after the National Assembly Committee on Finance completed public engagement sittings on the controversial 2023 finance bill that has elicited heated debate in the country, President William Ruto has indicated he is not backing down from the housing levy, despite strong opposition from a large section of Kenyans.
The millions of young people that will be employed in this sector is sacrifice enough for us who are employed to make that contribution to the housing fund so that we can bring around the change that is going to take our country forward.
In his defense of the project, the head of state says it will support the local construction industry, including the Juakali sector, and create high-quality and competitive opportunities for manufacturers and jobs for Kenyans, with the program intent on stimulating productivity and competitiveness in the manufacture of cement, steel, paint, nails, ballast, timber, roofing materials, windows and doors, among many other products.
Our vision for affordable housing program is premised firstly on the objective of creating 1 million direct and indirect employment opportunities throughout every value chain in the housing development ecosystem. A single housing unit is capable of employing 3 to 5 workers directly and an additional 8 workers indirectly in the manufacturing of construction products, in transport, in logistics, and in all other sectors that contribute to the housing and construction industry.
Additionally, the Commander-in-Chief projects the affordable housing program will increase the number of homeowners and transition more Kenyans from rent-paying to home ownership, with the program targeting to provide Kenyans at the low cadre of economic pyramid with quality, decent and affordable housing units. It is also expected the affordable housing program will elevate human dignity by liberating millions of people who live in unhygienic environments without proper sanitation, with the head of state targeting to reduce the number of people living in slums.
We have 1,411 slums in Kenya. We should transition those people, my countrymen and women, into homeowners. They should live in dignity like the rest of us.
President Ruto has appealed to Kenyans to support him as he bids to deliver one of his flagship projects and ensure he uplifts the living standards of hustlers.
I have had many ask me, Mr. President, how is it my responsibility to think about those who do not have jobs? How is it my responsibility to think about the people who live in slums? If our freedom fighters, the people who made the ultimate sacrifice and lost their lives in liberating our nation, if they had asked the question that how is it their business, today we would continue to have been slaves of our masters.
The fate of the housing levy now lies with the National Assembly as the lawmakers debate the finance bill when the House resumes sittings from recess next week. Henry Tende, Lookuptv.
Now, President William Ruto has today launched the second phase of the Hustler Fund, known as the Hustler Group Fund. Speaking during the 60th Madaraka Day celebrations held in Embu, the president said the second phase will allow groups of at least 10 have access to loans of up to 1 million shillings in an effort to enhance financial inclusivity.
Under the glaring sun and in the premise of Kenya's 60th Madaraka Day feat, President William Ruto launched the second phase of the Financial Inclusion Fund, dubbed Hustler Group Fund. The president said the phase will target SACCOs and chamas of over 10 individuals, allowing them to borrow between 20,000 to 100,000 Kenya shillings in an effort to overcome barriers and exclusion with access to credit.
This engagement with business community inspired the creation of the Financial Inclusion Fund, or the Hustler Fund, to eliminate the financial cost, delay and bureaucracy entailed in complying. The facility employs the latest fintech powered by Kenyan telecommunications corporations. The Hustler Fund also re-engineered the idea of collateral by deploying the borrower's credit score as effective security.
Ruto further added that the fund will allow Kenya utilize financial technology and policy to mainstream our way of life.
The millions of our unemployed youth access to affordable credit, inclusive financing, promoting the robust expression of the legendary Kenyan hustling spirit through MSMEs and the facilitation of individual enterprise by enhancing market power through collective interventions like the Chama and SACCO.
The Individual Hustler Fund was launched by the President on November 30th, 2022 in an effort to allow Kenyans have access to credit, but has so far faced various challenges including repayment of borrowed funds. David Alex, Lookup TV.
And as Kenyans mark the 60th Madaraka Day, some could not afford to take a day off owed to the tough times occasioned by the high cost of living. Our very own Juliet Chepkoech engaged a number of business owners who have continued to call on the sitting government to salvage the situation that seems to get worse with every breaking day. Here is the report.
As the country marks 60 years of self-rule, it was business as usual in many parts as Kenyans brace for tough economic times. In some parts of Kawangware, this was the picture. Hard labor after 60 years of self-rule characterized this special day, with the goal of at least making an extra coin. Among them is one Rachel Gadhoni, who is ready to serve the locals with their favorite delicacies as she follows the national celebration on her TV. However, a few hours into the day, there seemed to be almost nobody walking into this small restaurant, not because she has lost her cooking skills, but it's due to reasons quite familiar owed to the current state of the economy.
Kitambo ilikuanga hivi. Nimekwambia wakati wa Madaraka, kama nikifungua hapa asubuhi, nilikuwa tu ikifika saa 7 niko na pesa. Watu walikuanga na pesa, watu wanakuja wananunua. Leo hii hakuna.
She takes us back to days when her business thrived.
Nilikuja hapa 1998. Halafu kutoka hapo, hiyo wakati biashara ilikuwa mzuri sana. Halafu tukiendelea hivyo, unaona kama hii nyanya tulikuwa tukiuza moja 5 bob. Hiyo saduku ya nyanya tulikuwa tukinunua na hata iti hadi 1,000. Lakini saa hii imefika 12,000, 13,000, 15,000. Lakini maisha inaenda ikibadili. Maisha imekuwa ngumu sana.
The 43-year-old single mother now struggles to run a business that also served as a source of job opportunities for several residents who have since been employed at the place. At the moment, some are at a risk of losing the job as she can no longer sustain the cost.
Biashara inaendelea kukua ngumu, kwanza kwetu watu wa hoteli, wa biashara. Maisha imeenda juu sana. Tumepita miaka mingi ya Madaraka Day, but leo hii ile ingine ilikuanga sawa, but leo hii imekuwa na mabadiliko, imekuwa ngumu sana. ngumu na sio kupenda kwa watu. Unapata hata mwenye anataka kununua kitu hana hiyo pesa. Maisha imekuwa juu sana.
Her business is now clinging on to the last string of hope that tomorrow might be better. With a few hours remaining before she closes her hustle for the day, she hopes a good number of clients will turn up, lest her food goes to waste.
Gathoni is among the many Kenyans that continue to decry the high cost of living, even as Kenya marks 60 years since independence. She can only hope the sitting government will work towards improving the current state of the economy. Juliet Chepkoech, Lookup TV.
Thank you, Julie, for that story. Now in the counties, Nakuru County Commissioner Layford Kibara has expressed his concern over the number of bars located within residential areas in the county. While announcing major crackdown against illicit brews, he warned government officers who owned bars to either resign or close them down. Speaking during the Madaraka Day celebrations in Kihoto grounds in Naivasha, Kibara termed the second-generation brew in the dens as very lethal, with many turning blind after drinking it.
In Bungoma County, leaders have condemned gender-based violence that has become prone within the county for several years.
Over 60 years down the line, bado tungali na mambo ya gender-based violence. Wamama, wasichana wetu bado wananyanyaswa kabisa. Ninasema hivi kwa sababu kulingana na records zetu ambazo nilifanya utafiti nikapata kule hospitali, na unajua si wote wanaodhulumiwa wanapeleka habari ama wanaenda hospitali.
Leaders in Nakuru County were not left behind in the Thursday fete that saw them commit to join in the war against illicit brew that is becoming a notorious issue in the county.
Now, swala nyeti hapa linatusumbua, and I'm very happy the Deputy President, His Excellency Rigathi Gachagua, amechukua the lead, because mara nyingi huwa inapotea hiyo support ya kupigana na pombe, alamu, bangi na second generation. Mlipoona watoto wale walikuwa wanaimba hapa, quickly sisi tulinote wasichana ni wengi kushinda hata wavulana. Hata wale walikuwa wamesimama na wale walikuwa hapa wakiimba, wasichana ni wengi kushinda vijana. Hiyo vijana wadogo tumeanza kuwaletea sumu ndio waishi wamalizike kabisa.
Fishermen in Kisumu County declared the high cost of living, saying they lack reasons to celebrate the Thursday's national holiday.
Ukipelekwa Uganda kule fine kutolewa ni kama 50,000. Hapa pesa yenyewe sasa vizi wenyewe siku hizi haina kitu. Wanataka ile hiyo 50,000 yenyewe mwezi umepiga hata mwaka mzima uje yeka hata 2,000 na umepiga mwaka mzima. Sasa unashindwa. Inabidi tu sasa kama ni nyumbani kuna kaploti pale kauzwe ama ng'ombe, sasa unakuta sasa badala ya kuongeza ile kazi unayofanya badala ya kutafuta, sasa ndio inatafuta kwako.
Kuna mkopo yoyote wa kutoka kwa serikali ambayo tumewahi kupata tangu ili serikali iandishwe mpaka wakati huu.
Innocent Ogaro, Lookuptv.
Thank you, Gara. Now, following a series of livestock theft and other goods which have been reported in Chesikaki area in Mount Elgon region, the area chief and Department of Security organized a meeting to discuss the source of the increase in theft cases and appropriate measures to be taken against those culpable. The meeting also saw a stern warning issued to illicit brewers. Oricha Rotich with that story.
A section of residents who attended the meeting, which was organized to discuss strategies to prevent security mishaps, say that the County Department of Security should do better in collaboration with the National Government Security Department, noting that this will leave no gaps for crime to take place.
Wizi inatokana na mambo ya scrap, mambo ya ng'ombe, mambo ya kufunja maduka, mambo ya kufunja nini, na yote wanatoka area hii.
However, the OCS Chesikaki Police Station, Beatrice Lagat, fired a warning to illicit brewers while promising to do everything he can to ensure the Chesikaki area is safe.
Hakuna siku nitakubali pombe iendelee. Na hakuna mtu anaweza kusema enda utengeneze pombe Chesikaki na ulete return. Ni heri mubadilike watu ya kupiga pombe ama wale wanauza. Badilika kabla sheria ikubadilishe.
On his part, Chesikaki Sub-County Deputy Chief Maurice Wetala stressed on the government's plan to regulate places of worship and asked the preachers to consider the directive from the government when they run their church activities.
Pia katika hali ya kudhibiti makanisa, serikali inataka kwamba watu ambao wanasimamia makanisa wakiitwa wahubiri lazima ukue na taaluma ya uhubiri, si ile ya ndoto ya usiku na unaanza kuhubiria watu unasema mimi ndio nimeona hapa kuna uchawi na unaenda kutoa.
Audrey Cherotich, Lookuptv.
Women groups on Thursday got free cattle as gift during the Madaraka Day celebrations. 200 women benefited from a free cow initiative by Sirisia MP John Waluke during the 60th Madaraka Day celebrations. Speaking during the handing over to the women groups, Waluke said he is celebrating women in society for the area for being the backbone of the community.
Na ndio tukaamua kwamba sisi tupeane ng'ombe kwa kina wamama, ng'ombe za maziwa ili watakuwa wanatumia kwa familia, kwa watoto kukunywa maziwa, na tena sikizaana watakuwa wanapeana kwa groups zingine. Ndio kusudi ambao tuko hapa siku ya leo. Ni kumaliza hapa alafu tuungane na Wakenya wengine kwa speech ya rais. Mahali DC yako sote tukue hapo tukisikia hotuba ya rais inasema nini. Na nataka kushukuru wamama kwa bidii ambayo wamefanya kwa mambo ya kilimo. Mimi nikiangalia katika sub-county yangu, Sirisia sub-county, Bungoma West, wamama mmefanya kazi mingi, mmelima vizuri, chakula iko sawa sawa. Muombe Mungu mvua inyeshe. Na mkifuna hapana uza chakula sana kwa middlemen. Najua shida iko, lakini mungoje bei ya mahindi ipande. Juu hata sasa mahindi unanunua kunia moja shilingi 7,000 ama 10. So ukikuwa na mahindi kama uliweka kidogo, sasa hiyo ni tajiri sana, unapata pesa mzuri. Na maharagwe iko 17,000. Ukiuza kunia 2, wewe unanunua ng'ombe ama unalipia bwana fees kwa watoto wako.
Now to some sporting action. FKF President Nick Mwendwa on Thursday launched the FIFA FKF Women Football Campaign at Kasarani Annex. The campaign is aimed at nurturing football talents among young girls, especially in the counties. The campaign is part of government initiative in growing grassroots football talents.
Ya kuweza kuonyesha talanta zao. Kando na timu hizi 30 zitapata nafasi ya kuweza kuonyesha talanta zao.
Thank you girls. Thank you girls. Nice. Today we are launching women football and campaigning for it in the entire country. Watoto wetu hawa mnaona hapa 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. Tunaanza kuwakuza kucheza football. Ukiwaangalia watoto 12 years from today watacheza Harambee Stars, ndio?
You are watching Lookup News and we are taking a very short break, but we'll be back with our conversation of the day. Today, Kenya marks 60 years since attaining independence. And after the break, I will be speaking to Mary Ariviza, who is a politician, and Tony Kisaka, who is a strategist. Stay for that.
Hey darling, are we still on for our coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt. It's royal coffee yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh.